Welcome back. You are listening and or watching Pwnecast. This is episode 41. We are in patch 6.0.3. I am your Warlock host, Belle. I did also bring back the Aussie admin, Huge Bloke. We are down Spamberger this evening. He wasn't feeling well, so Huge Bloke's graciously decided to fill the body, not feel the body, because that's a whole different show, to fill the body spots. I also thank you for being here, Bloke. Not feeling bodies, hopefully, because the missus would be mad at me.
Welcome to the Pwnecast After Show.
Right. I did also bring the Riders of Rohan with me. I did bring the mage who stands in fire, Frysa.
I do. I was in a raid group today in Dragon Soul, and I believe it was Vegas Kid, told me to stand in fire to stack in the fire. So I did, and I died, and I got an achievement for it. And he's like, yeah, you can't stay there the whole time. And I was like, you told me to stand in the fire. He's like, yeah, when it starts killing, you get out. I was like, I just told me to stand there, so I stood there.
An ice block?
What?
Yeah, I died in my ice block. The fire, it didn't help at all.
He just totally pulled to me. I will only do what my raid leader says. If he tells me to stand and not move, I don't move. So
yeah,
if you don't direct me to move, I won't.
To be honest, 3 people died with me in the same area. So it wasn't just me that fell for that. So I don't know if he's making a joke, but he's like, everyone stack right here, and then we all died except for him. So
Was he on his priest?
No, it was we had Aja there, Rickid, a few other people there. So he was on his I don't know what he was on.
I was supposed to be involved in that Dragon Soul, but I got stuck on a project, and
we didn't get the achievement either way because we didn't have enough people for the 25, and we didn't know.
How many people do we need? 8? I think you need
8. We had 7.
Oh, see, it's all my fault. Vegas, if you're watching, and I know you watch every week, I'm so sorry. I'm a lame. My husband wasn't here, and I was in a project, and this is my plea to you. I'm sorry. I'll make it up to you next week. I did also bring the Death Knight who eats Expel Magic and wipes the raid, like in...
Yeah, I had no idea what I was doing. I taunted off of... Spikers was actually tanking with me in our guild, and I decided I'm going to go stand in a corner with all this big purple shit exploding around me, and that lasted about 3 seconds.
Wiped the whole raid. Everybody was like, what happened? And Nate's all, or Lycan's all, I'm sorry.
At least I took... Exactly. I did take the blame for it, but usually I'm the one screaming at people or doing the... really, to the raid. So I was kind of disappointed in myself when I did it, but we recovered.
I happened to be privileged to ear hustling on my husband's TeamSpeak earlier. Rickid was organizing a Guild Druid picture, and I heard Rickid on TeamSpeak going, hang on, I'm going to be Nate. Clear TeamSpeak! I literally almost... Rickid, I'm sorry I totally busted you out, but I could not help it because it was hilarious because that Lycan's famous for that. Clear TeamSpeak! Anyway, moving on. We're in rare form tonight. It's been a long day, so we might get a little off topic as the evening progresses, but let's get right into the news this week. So, obviously, there's a lot of good PTR stuff that happened. We talked last week about the level 1 mount for collecting all the heirlooms, don't know what they're called, don't really care, BOAs, whatever you want to call them. Well, we did get some actual documentation that was data mined via Wowhead. 35 heirlooms is what you need to have. Heirlooms, whatever. 35 is what you need to have. You'll get the...
I'm going to stick with browns.
You'll get the level... Browns, right. Well, that's still weird to me. You're going to get the chauffeured chopper, which, let's be clear, I'm assuming because it's a chauffeured chopper that I don't know if it takes you where you need to go, if there's a little person that drives with you, if you're in the side cart. I don't really know, but it's called the chauffeur chopper. You do have to collect the 35. At least you don't have to collect all of them for every single class, so that's good news.
That was the original plan, wasn't it?
Yes.
I think they first off around they announced that you were going to have to get all the browns to get the mount, and now they cut it down because they're like they did the costing on it and worked out how much it was going to be, and it was like That's a little
Well,
bit
and you
rich.
know Blizzard, they go balls to the wall, and then everybody bitches, and then they're like,
And then
oh, maybe
bring
you
it back
shouldn't do that. So they give us worst case scenarios so that we're happy when they change it. That's actually a thing. It's making sure that your customer is happy. It's like when you tell somebody, oh, you're dying. Oh, wait, you're not really dying. You just have a cold, but we just wanted to prepare you for the worst. So
Dive in the deep end and swim back.
that's what Blizzard's famous for. Teaser mount. Twitter in the World of Warcraft, Facebook, everybody was all abuzz about this beautiful purple kitty, which I will remember to put it right here. We don't know what it's going to do. We don't know what it's for. We just know that it was posted, and it's going to be a thing. Theories? Anybody have a theory on
Who posted that?
World of Warcraft did?
Yeah,
They did.
Mm-hmm.
right off their page. Which, I mean, the cat looks nice,
Oh, it's beautiful.
but it's...
It looks like a purple version of a jewel crafting cat.
Yes!
It's
Thank you!
No.
Uh-oh.
It's spectral, and it's purple, and it's like...
Oh,
It's like a warlock's crotch rocket. Like, that's beautiful.
Whoa.
you gotta have it because
Let me find the picture now. Let me see. Let me check something out real quick.
It's beautiful.
I saw it earlier.
I honestly think it's going to be a store-bought mount.
Do you think it's going to be a store-bought
It
mount?
has that look to it, and they're probably about due to bring out another mount.
And, arguably, some of the store-bought mounts are better than some of the in-game mounts. And I don't mean to offend anybody that has a favorite mount. This is not me saying all the in-game mounts suck. This is some of the World of Warcraft mounts that they have made to purchase have been really out of the box. The Armored Bloodwing, which I got, the Heart of Aspects. I mean, these mounts were, very different than what you could get in-game, kind of a next level. And arguably, you shouldn't have to pay real money for stuff, but why shouldn't you if you want to? We give them away as giveaway stuff on our page, so...
What I don't get is where's the person writing it?
It's
It's a kitty.
What?
It's a feral, right?
no, it's a mount.
It's a mount.
It's big, shiny purple.
You guys
mount.
are talking about where's this mount at? I looked at the wrong picture.
I think I know.
I want to give. I got the notes before the show, and I thought I found it, and I'm not looking at the right picture, and I'm sorry.
What he's probably talking about, guys, is they did talk about they're making sure that the forms for the druids are more fluid.
Yes.
The wings on the back.
I'm jumping ahead.
You did, which we weren't going to mention that because I didn't know it was important, but you brought it up, and that means it is important. They are making more changes so that things are they make more sense when you're in druid form instead of.
Wait, the blazing wings aren't going to be sideways on a tree anymore?
No, they're not going to be sideways on a tree anymore. They are working that out. They did. Now, the funny thing is we posted this, and apparently everybody thought that Pepe was the important part of the picture. Pepe was just added to the picture. It didn't have anything to do with Pepe.
Well, I think there was an issue with Pepe and the way he sat on the druid's head.
Right.
So I think that's another thing they're fixing, and the reason they threw it in there.
Well, I think if I'm not mistaken, if I recall when I had Pepe on my druid, I think when I shifted, Pepe was gone.
Oh, snap.
I'm
Okay,
pretty
I
sure.
did not see this picture yet.
So now that you've seen the beauty, where do you think it's going to come from? Do you think it's going to be an achievement? Do you think it's going to be a quest, a purchase?
Nah, you're gonna buy that. You're gonna buy it.
So the consensus
It's not
is
a-
we're buying it.
It's still not pretty me dressed up as Gammon with my Reichel drinking horn on my unpainted Mechanic Strider.
I think every arcane mage and warlock are gonna buy this.
Agreed. Totally 100% agree with you. And it's so
I'm
beautiful. Oh.
That guy, I don't buy the pets and the mounts and whatever else. I'm Captain Tight Ass until they come on sale.
That also is
Then
another show.
Yeah, that comes on the second episode of.
So you don't have any? That you bought?
Well, I get them when they're on sale, but I tell you what, after looking at that picture, if that shows up in the store, I'll be camping out
You know
overnight.
what's common
first
in my
line.
house is we when we all have birthdays and Christmases for the ones that game, we use those as gifts. My brother bought my husband what are they called again? Sorry, it's been a really long day. A Toon Boost. He bought him a Toon Boost for Christmas, and that's what he wanted. He wanted a Toon Boost, and that's what we do for each other that are the adult family members. We purchase mounts or purchase pets or purchase game time or purchase World of Warcraft stuff. So not everybody's going to want to buy it, but just so you viewers at home, both the viewers and the listeners, if this is a thing and it is a purchasable mount, we will be giving that bad boy away on the page for sure, because that is large charge.
That's a beautiful thing, and there's also another thing for mages who are out there. If you get the cosmetic pieces for arenas, it's all purple. Everything's purple, just like this mount. So I'm kind of interested now. Should I purchase those other ones just so I can look good on this mount?
Do it. You want to do it.
It was on a lot of levels.
My head just exploded. Okay.
I got to admit, that's the first one I've ever sat back and it was like, straight off the bat, damn, I got to have that.
Nice mount. I agree.
I was asking my husband for water, which is, if you guys seen, those that are watching, if you see me doing weird faces, that was the please help me, I'm parched look on my face. Before I forget, one of the current hot fixes for Ashran, there's now a 30-minute delay for main event in between the boss kills. So if you've noticed a difference, that's your reason why. It used to be, for those of you who have not entered Ashran who don't do the main events, it used to be you would go, you would kill him, and then everybody would go back to mid, and they would cap it again, and it would be a continuous cycle. Now there's a 30-minute delay before the event, which it's kind of sucky for those of us that used to farm it, but I understand because of those of us who used to farm it is probably one of the reasons they changed it. So if we are in any way the reason that they changed it, I apologize. I needed 4,000 bones in a few hours, and that's how that happened. So if you've noticed the change in Ashran, that's the reason for the change, is because assholes like me and Lycan were farming the bones in the middle event.
17 successful consecutive runs.
Oh,
I think it's a good move, though. Like, it'll push people into those outer-lying...
Agreed.
Don't ever compliment Ashran.
Yep.
Ever.
Ashran is not a thing this week. It is on the Pwnecast Frysa Pwned and PvP shit list. So Ashran's not a thing this week. We're not.
Oh, we'll get there eventually. just not today.
For PT.
Oh, we're getting there today.
I've enraged him enough to the point where now I can get him to rant about it, which is awesome. Also, 6.1, what was data mined for Wowhead, level 675 missions are going to yield huge rewards. Don't know what those rewards are because we weren't given specifics. Obviously, this comes in tandem with them upping the follower item level to 670. So, wonder what's going to be in it. Is it a boat? Is it a car? Is it a house? I mean, is it...
An ice cream van.
Is it...
I'd like to see an ice cream van.
Is it
As per an earlier
Thunder
discussion
Fury,
today.
maybe? I don't know.
Oh, God, not that again.
I don't know. Just
I farmed that damn sword just so that I can link it at any time without having to go to Wowhead. And
I called it Thunder Seeker for like 2 years because people would say it in trade chat. Did somebody say Thunder Fury, Blessed Blade of the Wind Seeker? And I just called it Thunder Seeker. And one day I said it in trade chat, and everybody was like, "Wow, you're an idiot." And I'm like, "Oh, guess that's not what it's called."
But you're happy about it.
I was talking to a friend at my work, and he goes, I was talking about World of Warcraft, and he goes, "Well, all I know about World of Warcraft is there's a sword in there, the sword of 1,000 truths." I started laughing so hard. I was like, I can't believe you just said that right now, man.
Know you're good people when you watch South Park and you can call the episodes on command.
It was pretty awesome. I saw that. He said that to me, and I was like, oh, man, I'm so happy you know that. I told him, no, there's no sword. I was like, but good reference.
Also, really, really quickly.
Is there a sword?
Yes. Well, yeah, there is.
Well, my head exploded twice today.
Drops from Gloof in Nax.
Also, really, really quickly, Little Hogger plushie is now for sale at the gear.blizzard store. Also, in looking at the picture for this Little Hogger plushie, there's mugs. There's awesome new little tiny mugs, little short coffee mugs that have stuffs. No, they're not new?
No, they're new. I think about 38 seconds after they got put up, I ordered some, and I don't drink that much coffee.
So you guys need to go to the gear.blizzard store, and you need to check this stuff out. They've thrown up a few things that even caught my sharpest eye, and I know where my taxes are going, or the Warcraft swag for sure. So make sure you guys go to gear.blizzard.com to make sure that you guys check that out. So Twitter integration is now live on PTR. Like how I did that? It's live, but just kidding, it's on PTR. See what I did there?
Right.
So mean.
I told you it was
millions of Twitter followers out there are crying out.
Everybody's raging on their keyboards right now. So Wowhead has a great picture of the interface, which I will post the picture right here, integrating the selfies, so you can snap a little in-game selfie, tweet that right to Twitter. A lot of people are upset
So
about.
glad I wasn't on the show last
Well,
week.
a lot of people are upset about the Twitter integration. Can I tell you something? If you don't like it, don't use it.
Yeah, we already had this conversation. I liked it because it blends right into World of Warcraft. It's
Right.
not like a Windows thing
You
that
just
pops
click a
up and it
button,
takes you.
set it up,
Yeah.
and you're good. So if
You're
you
good
don't
to
like
go.
it, don't use it. If you think it's stupid, don't have a Twitter. If you, I
Yeah.
mean, it's not for
Oh,
everybody.
it's gonna be for the mainly for the YouTubers and Twitch streamers and
I can't.
and if
I
you
don't like
if
where
you like
this
to
is
follow
going.
those people, it's gonna be much easier now to stalk them. You know, Swifty, and they're gonna be all in there. I promise you that they're all gonna be over that.
Agreed.
So it's
Nate,
gonna be cool for a lot of people.
I was dead against it, and in all honesty, after seeing a few more pictures of it, the selfies I still don't agree with,
Yeah.
but the the Twitter and like doing the screenshots and that, I'm warming up to the idea. But I can guarantee you, in the day that goes live, like, yeah, there's going to be a few spam posts on Facebook of me playing around with it just to see exactly what it does and how annoying it can be.
Especially after like the one configuration that you can put in, the one glue string you can put on your social, your add last drop or item dropped. I've run a lot of old school content. I could not imagine how my Twitter feed is just going to be spammed with people's drops going through the old school crap.
I don't know if I want to have it integrate to that level. I don't want them to know when I'm in my outhouse. I mean, I like to keep that.
And you get the
secret.
you get the achievement for it, and it announces to the world that you're sitting in your garrison toilet.
Well, this is what the game's coming to be, and I'm not against it. I'm actually for it, only for whatever reasons I am. Basically, you watch Wall-E, the cartoon, and it shows all the people, and they're all fat on their carts, and they're rolling around. They never get off their cart, because everything they need is in front of their face, and that they're going to use that same thing in World of Warcraft, where they're never going to have to log off of World of Warcraft to go to Facebook, to go to Twitter, to go to Yahoo. It's all going to be integrated into World of Warcraft. You're never going to have to leave it, and that's what they actually plan on doing. I think in the future they're going to see if Twitter works. If it works, then Facebook is next.
Well,
If
is that a bad thing though?
No, I'm for it, because if you never have to leave World of Warcraft, you don't have to have all these windows popped up on your screen. They're all on World of Warcraft,
It's
so you
it's
just
the easy button. You want to share something,
you're
you just boom,
yeah.
done. Yeah, I agree. I
Done.
agree with you completely.
and it's all in World of Warcraft form, just like the Twitter is. You see the pictures. That's not a Windows, setup that comes onto your game. No, you can walk around and be on your Twitter at the same time, and it's going to be a great thing. I think. But again, this is just the beginning. This is just something that's going to happen, and it's going to work. And then they're going to integrate McDonald's. And then they're going to
They want
integrate
to
pizza,
integrate
ordering
Dunkin'
pizza.
Donuts right on into
Oh,
my
yep.
UI. We are not going to have a
Oh,
problem.
I
They
know,
could do
I
that.
know them. They're gonna
If they
integrate
did that,
everything.
If they did that, I would honestly need them to integrate like lifetime membership as well instead of this
Agreed.
month by month. Like I would just right now.
Let me give you $20,000
take my
and be good for
retirement
the next
fund.
5 years.
Yeah.
Right.
I agree. I
Yeah.
think
That's
Or
another
at
thing
least
they
until
can
I have
start doing.
Yeah,
the
Blizzard,
podcast.
you heard it here first.
all
You heard
lifetime
it here
memberships.
first, yep.
Oh gosh.
Mm-hmm.
Why not? Why not do? Because you know what? A lot of them are doing that too. Like you've
Bad
got some
business
games
at
out
the
there
end
that
of the day when people want a
Well-
refund and they want to cancel their lifetime. I think it's bad business.
they got a lot of games out there. They're doing the same thing with the DLCs with the seasonal passes.
They used to have
Yeah,
the
here, you pay
annual
this
pass,
amount.
remember? Do you remember the annual pass?
Yep.
Whatever happened to the 2-year contract? Wasn't that a 2-year contract you signed
Didn't they
it?
drop it back to
And go
1?
1-year contract.
Was it a 1-year contract? You got a mount for signing it.
You got a mount. You had access to the beta, which people didn't, which backfired on because people didn't get it for till a month before the game actually
Right.
went live. Tests. So that did kind of backfire on. But why not do a annual pass?
If they integrated McDonald's and did a lifetime pass, I don't think the life expectancy would be too high anyway. So it might outweigh if a few people get refunds, but they'd
Nope.
be making a packet off the people that are dropping dead from too much greasy macas, no exercise, and 24/7. Wow.
Starbucks is delivering now, so not only will it be McDonald's killing everybody, it'd be caffeine killing people too. There's a lot that's going to change, people. There's a lot that's going to change, and this is just the beginning. So you're going to either embrace it and use it, or just let it cloud up your menu or whatever you got to do. But it's going to happen.
Also,
I'll wait to read the post.
I'm sorry. I just need 1 second.
it boils back to that real simple thing, like Bill said. Like, if you don't like it,
Just don't
use it, but don't sit there and bitch about it.
Right.
Like, pure and simple.
People are not going to be tweeting you when you don't want to be tweeted. Trust me, they don't want to talk to you either.
Two big things that we wanted to talk about, and then we are good with the news, and we can move into our Week in WoW and all that good stuff. I'm sure most of you know, because you follow our page or you've heard, WoW Insider is shutting down. They did have a huge announcement. We did post about it on Pwnecast on the Facebook page. No reasons were really given. It was really non-specific. They did state that I believe it's February 3rd, there's going to be an announcement. I'm assuming they've either moved in a new direction or possibly a new project. We've been trying to do some guesswork here. I don't imagine it's going to be the same thing, because if you're a WoW Insider and you're already doing what you're doing, I don't imagine that they're going to just completely squash what they're doing and do the same thing. So it's possible that maybe they've branched out, or maybe they've picked a different avenue of World of Warcraft that they wanted to talk about. Not really sure at this point what that's going to entail. It's really, really sad. Those of you at WoW Insider, you guys have entertained us, since 2005. It's a real sad moment, sad moment for those of us that are fans. But they're not down and out. I'm sure they have, big.
They got some tricks up their sleeves still.
They'll be starting something else, either not together, but they'll be starting something else individually.
And something that Bella and I were talking about too. It's non-WoW related, but there's a group out there called Inside Gaming that did the same thing with Machinima this week. And Machinima it had a lot of WoW videos and stuff like that.
Yeah. When
Inside Gaming was taken over, the creative licensing was basically left up to the Inside Gaming crew when they came into it. And speculation there as well is, Machinima said, "Hey, we want to take you in a different direction, or we want to push you away from what your normal postings are." And I think once you start partnering up with that big corporations, that argument and that delineation of where you think your company wants to go and where they think your company wants to go sometimes draws a hard line. And who knows? I mean, since they've been with Joystick, there's been nothing but good things. But who knows what the contract said? Who knows what happened? When they sat down and said, "Okay, what are we going to do? Are we going to renew this?" And it could be it's just something as simple as they're going into a just overall Blizzard experience. Blizzard's been with their IPs that they've got out there. They've got Overlord coming out. Heroes of the Storm's going to be going into beta and eventually launching probably sometime this year. You've got Hearthstone out there, which is just blown up.
Yeah, Overwatch.
Right. So you got all these things out there, StarCraft, and who knows? They might be just enveloping everything that Blizzard is being putting out there and changing their format. Their format with what they're doing on their site. But it's a shame to see a company that's almost as old as the game itself. This is as big as if those who listen to podcasts, if Scott Johnson came out next week and says, "Oh, by the way, we're done." Yeah. The guy that runs the instance, hell, he's been around since the beginning.
I think that's where a lot of the shock in the community has come from off this, is because a lot of us that have been playing for a long, long time, have been with WoW Insider almost on a daily basis. The support and kind words and things that have been coming from the community on a whole, directed at the team over there, it goes to show how much of an impact they've had, and more so how much of an impact is going to be felt of them not being around, because so many people have essentially grown up with the game, but grown up with that sort of page to support the game as well, and to see that go like that leads.
And it's really crappy that we don't. I mean, in these instances, everybody's always really politically correct. They're publicists in a sense. They don't really tell you the real story. They don't tell you the behind the scenes stuff, and it's hard to know if you should be, "Oh man," or "Congratulations," because something new's happening. It's really, really difficult because you're not really sure how you're supposed to react. You want to mourn for what you're losing now, but then if something hopefully February 3rd will get, maybe it's even better than WoW Insider. Maybe. Maybe it's a thing and somebody bought it. I mean, I don't know. We don't really know the ins and outs of what goes on, but it's really, really sad that happened. Also, in the community, I'm going to cry, and I apologize in advance. A gentleman posted on Reddit, and the gist of the post is his son died in Iraq, and His son loved World of Warcraft. His son played World of Warcraft. And this man wanted to explore a world that his son was obsessed with so that he could feel close to his son and he could know every aspect of his son. And he starts playing World of Warcraft and he posts on Reddit he needs the community's help because he doesn't know how to play. He doesn't know anything in the game. He doesn't have any friends. The entire community, when I say the entire, I'm not talking a couple hundred people. I'm talking thousands of people responded to this gentleman on Reddit, gave their battle tags. Here's my guild name. Here's the server I'm on. Let me help you. What do you need? Literally the response that the community that I am proud to be a part of, literally a community that even though Trade Chat lets me down daily, the community, as a whole literally showed me why I am proud to be a gamer and why I'm proud to be in leagues with these people, because they reached out to this gentleman who unfortunately lost a son for fighting for our country in a war that I don't even agree with personally, which we're not going to bring that on the podcast, but he wanted to be in a world where his son loved. Unfortunately, he even stated he didn't do it while his son was alive, and it could have been something that he could have enjoyed with him. In hindsight's 2020. So we posted the article. Make sure you guys go check it out. Go show this man some support. What do you guys think about this? I'm blown away.
I honestly, I struggled to read that one. And I'll be like, we're in a safe space with our friends. Yeah. I was the same. I got teary because it really reinforced to me that no matter how many trolls and assholes and how much just dopey stuff goes on, that I generally don't like, when it comes down to the crunch, like everyone has their heart in the right place, and to see that unfold the way it did. That was really heartwarming. And, and I honestly, like I said, I sat back, I got a little teary, and I sat back and, sort of just patted myself on the back on behalf of everyone else in the community, because to me, like that really sort of sums up the gaming community that I know that not a lot of the public people see. So,
he didn't really know what his son was actually talking to thousands of people and have friends
and the fact that he now understands that, like, it's sad that they didn't get to do it together, but the fact that he now understands that and understands why it's so special, right. I sort of sit back and go, well, now another person, under sad circumstances, but now another person out there understands why I play, and
now has a community behind him.
But the other thing too is I've been trolling that article everywhere, like just gone through the comments and seeing the sort of comments that the amount of people that are in similar situations that, lost a family member or they're suffering depression or things like that have started playing the game, and it's changed their life.
Oh yeah.
And none of them have had negative comments, which is that's an unbelievable feat in itself.
And as somebody, who has a parent who plays, I'm close to 40, and my mother plays, and she is 65 years old. And it was the same thing. I'm disabled for numerous medical issues that I don't want to get into now, but with the disabilities that I have, she saw what I was putting into the game. And she goes, oh, well, what are you doing? I said, oh, this is World of Warcraft. Here, check it out. And she had just come over to my house to pick up, I think she was picking up my kids. And she sat there for an hour watching me play. I think I was running a random dungeon. And she goes, oh, that's pretty cool. But she never understood what my fascination was with it. And, and the camaraderie that I've built and the friendships that I've built out of it until she got into it. And now it's something that we can do together as well. And so to hear this guy's story and not to be able to experience that with his son while he was still alive, it breaks my heart, because this is something, not as the same extreme, but something that I share with my mother that just got out of it. She plays a hunter that I still have to go in and take the cloth gear off of her, but she's and it's something.
I'm incredibly envious of that, mainly because combined between my parents, they struggle to use a kettle. So, I'm glad you guys have that issue. It's true, and my parents will love that because they do also too. They're like, oh, they're
It
famous now.
reinforces why I'm a part of World of Warcraft. It's an honor to have a podcast and to have a page and to be involved in the community that speaks for itself. I don't know anybody on any other game in the world that gets together the way that this community does. There was a thing a while back where a gentleman, I believe it was his wife, was fighting cancer. I mean, we can be who we want to be in game, but it's a testament to behind every asshat is a heart. No matter what you say, no matter how much you rage and how mean you are to people, that you do care about people because it is just a game, but you care about people, and that makes me.
It's proven to bring people closer together. Me and my brother, we have never been so close in our life. And I talk to many guys on my job, and they have brothers, and they hate their brothers. They don't talk to their brothers for whatever reasons. And they've never, ever been close at any time of their life. And me and my brother, we've done so many arenas together for many years. I mean, the yelling, the screaming, the cussing, the rage quitting, it goes on for years, and the victories we had with each other, and then we go to college with each other, and we get to graduate college together, and we become so close, and we've had moments in our life where we were playing Halo one day, and we were on an online tournament, I believe, and he did not want to do what I told him to do, and so I looked at him and I said, throw the grenades. Like, no. And I reached over and I went, boom! And I punched him right in the face. But you know what? I have never seen two brothers so close in their life, but video games have brought us like this. You know, we've always been together because we've been playing video games our whole life. And all these guys on my job, all they do is, they laugh sometimes. Oh, you play games still? You're 26, you play games? Like, you don't even talk to your family members. Suck dick.
Whoa! I've never heard you talk like that.
It pisses me off because they don't know. They have no clue. They don't know that I have friends I talk to on Skype.
Guy that sits alone in your apartment. They don't realize. And it's funny that you say that. I have 16 siblings in total. I like one of them, and he lives with me, and it's because we play games. But I literally, I like one. Out of 16, I like one. So we fight and like cats and dogs, and the next minute we're totally fine. You guys have been privy to those fights since we Skype. Literally 5 minutes later, you would never even know we were fighting. But you're right, it gives a common ground. And I have friends. People always tell me you don't have a life. My mom tells me every day, get out of the house. Why? My friends are right here. I don't need to go anywhere. I'm good.
Right.
Maybe I need to exercise, but I mean, outside of that, I'm fine.
How many days do we get on phone
Agreed.
on Skype and sit there, and we will sit there for 3-4 hours and not talk about anything?
Nothing.
Yeah.
We're just each doing our own thing.
The kids are talking to each other worse than we are.
It's just to have that other person there, so when you're doing something and you get mad, you can just be like, oh, this just happened, da, 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 and then you're back to doing your thing, and the other person's back to. We do it all the time, but I'm excited to be a part of this community, and to the gentleman, I'm sure you don't watch us, but if at some point you do, my hat's off to you for stepping into a world that's going to blow your mind if it hasn't already, and I'm excited for you to be a part of that. And to all of you that reached out to this man, seriously, that's what the game is all about. Cheers.
Cheers.
Golf claps.
And if you haven't found a guild yet, please write us a room hand.
We're forever recruiting.
Oh, yeah. And I guarantee I would never yell at you in an arena.
Because he will. But that's okay. Because that's what happens when you have friends and you care so deeply with your friends that you can fight and everything's fine later. So it's the nature of the beast, so to speak. So I was deciding on whether I wanted to talk about it now or talk about the end of the show. No, because I was going to talk about the new goings on with Pwnecast, the site and stuff, but I don't know if we're ready to announce that.
We can wait till next
but just know that something great is coming. So huge. Make sure that you tune in next week. We're not ready to announce it because we're still working out details. So, okay. So now that we've got the news out of the way, So before the show, I totally was poking Frysa to get him to rant about the goings on in PvP, and he was not biting at first. I had to really poke, and I hit the soft spot. So let's hear.
It's
Gladiator.
It's easy. You just played Frysa.
No, don't say that.
Get me freaking flipping chairs off the way, man. I can't.
Do I get an achievement unlocked?
I know you have some huge gripes about Ashran, and I know you did that gladiator. It's the arena gladi. What is it called?
The
High
Mall
Mall
Coliseum.
Let's hear.
That's better than the Ashran.
I don't know if I can handle this right now.
Let's hear about it.
Oh, God. Okay, so I have been procrastinating my 4,000 bones, and Lycan here has had his for a long time, and I've always wondered, why don't you do the Coliseum? I don't understand. I don't get it. Don't you want better gear? And Lycan tells me the same thing. I am never going back. And I said, I don't understand that, because he's a PvPer, so I'm like, I don't know why he doesn't want to go back. So anyways, this last Saturday, I said, you know what? I'm getting my 4,000 bones. And if you guys don't know, maybe on your servers, it's easy. On Argent Dawn, you have to get lucky on a lucky day to do it. I spent 10 hours in Ashran, had a 40-man group. Now, let's talk about Ashran at first. So, how Ashran works is on our server, I don't know if it's like this everywhere, Alliance does the main raid, and then they go back and do the main raid, and go back and do the main raid, and we never get an event done because the Horde is running around doing events, and we can't kill the Horde, and then we never meet each other, so you never get your bones. So you have to do this for about 10 hours before you actually get anything you need to get done. And at that point, I'm pissed off. My high blood pressure is going off. My blood sugar is going low. I mean, I'm freaking out on my computer. I can't believe I'm playing this stupid game. I can't believe I came in here. I'm farming bones that I can't even get. And this is really the only thing we have. And the whole time I have in the back of my head is Toll Buried and Winter Grasp, the great games, the great days of old, you know, the fun times I've had. And this is 10 years later, and they give us Ashran, this stupid piece of crap land they spent 5 minutes making and 5 minutes of a thought process. And I spent 10 hours in it, and I want to quit World of Warcraft. So then, I get my 4,000 bones. I get it. By the grace of God, I get my 4,000 bones. Then I go to the Coliseum. I went one time. I go in there. I get queued for it. The first thing they do to me is they put a skull above my head because I'm the only mage in there, and they're going to kill me first. So, as the game starts, they kill me. I rage quit. I can't believe this is happening right now. So, I queue one more time. So I'm going to do one more shot. This is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. It says get 100 kills in your first quest, however that works. I go in there. They don't put a skull on me this time. They put a skull on the shaman, and they put a star on me because he's the only shaman and I was the only mage. So we're the first two to die again. I rage quit. I went to Denny's, ate, got French toast, thought about it, and I said I'm not going to quit World of Warcraft. I'm just going to just do arenas with my friends. And I'm never going back to the Coliseum. Ever, ever, ever. And I have been doing player versus player for many years, and not just in World of Warcraft. In every video game you could imagine, I've been doing player versus player.
Can you just explain, now I got caught out by this. Can you explain to people that don't know or understand what the Coliseum is? Because I got caught by that, and I'll tell you about that in a sec.
So did you have you been in there yet?
I tell you
haven't stepped in
I
it
did the
either
same
because
thing.
I'm scared, and I'm even more scared now with this whole situation. What is it? What do you do? What happens when you go in there?
Run as fast as you can. Well, I'll tell you what happened to me. I got my 4K bones, and then I got the quest, and I go up there, and I give the dude the token, and he's like, yeah, join the queue, and you go in the Coliseum, and you'll be an amazing guy. Queued, joined in. I came up the little elevator, and there's all these people hanging around on the elevator with me. There's like 25 people, 24 other people. I'm like, this is like the raid. This is going to be awesome. I feel like I'm Russell Crowe and Gladiator.
Yeah, that's what they wanted
Come up
you
the
to
list,
do.
and
I
got the target thing going, and I noticed a hell of a lot of people started looking at me for some reason.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, oh, okay, they're checking out what's going on. No idea. Completely oblivious. Elevator comes up, everyone just runs in 50 different directions, and I'm stuck in the middle. I'm like, do I run to the edge? I had no idea what was going on. They gave the countdown. Within 3 seconds, I got bounced into the middle, nuked, and I was standing up in the grandstands as a spectator. And I'm like, what the crap happened?
And are you ever going back?
Look, maybe one day.
You need 100 kills.
In about 4 expansions. Honestly, that's how I learned that Coliseum is 20. It's literally 25.
It's
players,
25.
all just like it's a free for all.
It's a 25, not a free for all. No, these people go in there to.
So
together.
it
But
technically
people
is
are
a free
pre-making
roll.
is what
Technically.
you're saying.
Right.
There's 5 groups most likely that are all in a corner. They pick their individual corners and they talk and whisper to each other, or they're already in the same guild and they've already in the party and they queue together. And so you got these 5 groups, 5 here, and 5 here. And if you're not
You're
in the
screwed.
group, then guess what? You're dying if you don't get the
here.
killing. What?
Here, let me even tell you even better than the pre-made groups.
Do it
So
up.
I go in there, and I get up on the elevator, and then my hunter ass goes and hides in a corner, right? I go camouflage, boom, and I'm sitting there camouflaged. I keep getting whispers from another hunter in a group going, "Hey, dude, all the hunters are grouping up. Let's do this together." Sure. So I walk my happy ass over with the other 3 hunters that are standing in the corner, and I go. As soon as it starts, I go and viz. Now they all took off and left, and I'm standing there and I'm watching this feral druid in prowl come walking right across the screen. I couldn't target him. But because we're in the same group and we're all alliance, he came over, he swiped, knocked me out of camouflage, boom,
They
I was dead.
set you up.
Gone.
Because the other hunters, once he swiped me, because you can't target a hunter if they're in camouflage, he turned around, he swiped me, got me out of it. The other hunters turned around, boom, I was dead.
They totally
Wow.
you were set up, bro. What? That happened in real life?
But see, at least yours is like somewhat classy. Like you got set up, and they did some sneaky
That was
shit
dirty.
to get that
Shame
off
on you, Hunter.
You
Yeah.
didn't die because you were too busy.
I get marked with the skull on my head every time I go.
I would at least, no, if I got marked, at least I had a heads
And
up.
I can't move the mark off of me. It's not like I can go to my portrait
Well, the
and move
Colosseum is
my mark.
So
It's a piece of crap. It's not broken. No. You can't call it broken because they designed it to be that way. That's what they
You should not
want.
be able to.
Right.
No,
No.
they wanted that. They would have not left it in there. It's not broken. They are what they saw is the guy, whoever's in charge of it, I forget his name, went and saw Hunger Games and said, "Oh, let's try that. Let's try this, and let's have them for 3 minutes sit on the elevator and whisper each other, and they can all make up teams. So when they go up in the elevator, they can all be on the same team. But in the end, they all have to kill each other no matter what." No, it doesn't work because you got druids who don't want to die. You have hunters that have deflict. You have blood DKs that are going in. You have prot warriors that are going in there. You have protection paladins that are going in there. And you got a mage and a shaman. And then you have classes that can't survive. And we never stand a chance. We're never going to get a killing blow. We're never going to survive to be the last person. It's never going to happen.
We had a pot warrior that kept winning because he was in full mythic gear.
Yeah.
He had
I know.
Warforged mythic gear on. And he sat there, and I don't think he ever went below 95% health.
Ever.
see, and then you put a person that's in full mythic gear like that next to a guy in like 2 bits conquest gear, and the rest is for like. And is too busy standing in the middle of the Coliseum pretending to be, Russell Crowe.
No, the idea needs to be thought about longer than 20 minutes in that little meeting they had, and it was yeah. If you're gonna, I think the idea should go longer than it does to make it, because that whole idea they don't think about it. They don't think. Don't they know other games? I understand that World of Warcraft is one of the father games. I understand that a lot of games want to be World of Warcraft, but the thing is though is there's some things you need to take off of other games and free for all has always been a Halo Call of Duty thing. If you want to learn how to do free for all, look at the people who've been doing it for 12, 14 years. They mastered it. Take a little piece from them and say, you know what, I'm gonna see what they do for free for all, and let's try that. And they didn't even come close. They didn't even think about what they were doing. Man.
The thought of going back into the Coliseum right now is literally giving me chest palpitations.
Yeah, I'm never going back. I'm never walking by.
Who think it's awesome? These are our personal opinions. We don't really care what you think, to be perfectly honest, because it's our personal opinions, and you can have your personal opinions. If you love it, it's because you're in the pre-made.
Well, no, we do care.
I'm happy that you go. I'm happy that you have a group of 5 people that you go in with every single time. I'm happy that you have that group, and you have a healer and a tank and all kinds of other guys. I'm happy you do. I'm happy you do.
Can I just point out? Do you know how? Like, this is purely for the listeners. This is how you know Frysa's serious. Because he gets all worked up and then tells you.
Look
That's when you know you're on a serious topic. And he's
So-
right. Like, if you guys have your groups and that, congrats to you. Like, feel free to come on the page and show us
So,
your opinions,
Blizzard,
but
if you're
don't hang
listening
us
to this or you
for
catch wind
having
of this,
ours.
if somebody in any kind of importance is listening, fix your bullshit. Seriously, fix your shit. Fix your shit. We're
Yeah.
sick of it.
Watch the best. Watch
can't
the
even-
best people.
I can't even
Plus-
use
plus
feign
one
death
from
in the
me.
auditorium. Because as soon as I'm in the Coliseum, rather, and I
I'm
use
just like,
feign
wait,
death,
there's an auditorium.
people know I'm
Where's that
faking
at? I
it
want to
because,
go.
Yeah.
or they,
Well,
because you get ported up into the stands as soon as you die. Instead of leaving the dead bodies laying in the middle of the ground, in the middle of the Coliseum, you get ported out. So if I feign death, they're going, I know you're faking. And they come over and still whack on me anyway.
well, Swifty can't even go in there under Swifty. He goes in there on his other tunes, and
Gives everybody his
and you can actually watch his Twitch stream when he went in there on his Boomkin, and he was on his Twitch stream. So they found out he was on his Twitch stream, and they found out which Boomkin he was in the Coliseum, and they nuked him. And he said, I can't be on Twitch when I do this, and nor can he be on his other tune, because people are all in cahoots with each other in there, and it's a disaster. And if that's what you planned on
Why
doing,
not call it what it is? Call it a group.
I don't know what to
Don't
say
call
then.
it everybody versus everybody. Call it a group of pre-made fucks getting together and doing things.
how about
Right.
How about make 5 versus 5 versus 5 versus 5 versus 5? How about try that? That'll be really interesting.
I agree.
That would be something cool.
I can't get you to do fives in
Who gets
arenas.
the,
I can't
who gets
imagine
the
trying to
kudos
do
because
something like
I
that.
got him to rage and he never rages. Oh wait.
I didn't. And for all the listeners, I did not want to rage at all. I didn't want to rant. I said, they asked me, they go, do you have a PvP segment? And I said, I don't want to talk about PvP today. I'm not in the mood. I don't think I should.
But it's
And they're
because
like,
what
no,
he's
you
saying
have
is
to.
valid, and it's if you guys haven't entered it now, you won't, because the master that we know of as master, I'm sure there's other masters of PvP, but our king of
it'll
PvP
go
is
the other
saying
way. There
stay
will
the
be-
fuck away.
Yeah, don't go in there. And if you can, together, tonight, we can reunite. Unite and go to the forums. And I wrote a big paragraph, and I plan on writing many more. And I have to go to Microsoft Word, and I have to get all my spell corrects. And I'm going to go berserk on
Forums.
Blizzard. I'm
Take
going
it
to
the
get a plane
forums. Build
ticket,
it
drive
to the-
down
you know
there.
how Frysa does.
So I need people to go to the forums. So I went to the forums today, and there was like 10 comments.
Certainly, there's more.
Oh my
I'm
God,
sure
there's only
there's
10
more.
people commenting? Well, it didn't look like it.
No, I'm saying
Well,
I'm
they
sure
weren't
there's more
commenting on the
people
good
that are
stuff
just
either.
afraid to, or maybe they don't know how.
That's what it
Yeah.
is.
No, they're on the Facebook pages and the other
Right.
other Facebook wall pages that aren't exactly Blizzard related. That's where they're complaining, and that doesn't work.
It doesn't work. You need to go on the forums. Go ahead, Bloke.
So many times on the show before. Like, if you guys want to see some changes, you got to go to the right page. Like, it's awesome that you come into the page to our page or other groups or whatever else and saying,
That's good.
hey,
We
look,
like
you know,
that.
this sucks or this is my opinion. That's awesome, and we encourage that. But if you honestly want to make a difference, you need strength in numbers on their forums
Feel
or in
as
their
strongly
Twitter feeds.
about
Places
this as
that
you feel
Blizzard
about
actually
other
look.
things that you all bitch about on the forum. So
So look tonight when you guys watch this, whenever you guys do, and I want you to look at the forums for arenas and a forum for the Coliseum and a forum for Ashran, and you see Frysa on there with a paragraph for each one of them. And I am ranting, and I want change,
shit
and I
just
demand
got
it.
real.
And the followers of Pwnecast, we coming together, we can
reunited
really
as
make a
if we're
change.
not. I mean,
I keep saying that. I don't know why.
Just because he's so
So
fired
funny.
up.
Yeah. Maybe we
I
are
literally,
reuniting.
yeah, I've just made this snap decision, and I'm really stuck in a loop here. I am gonna actually go straight after we're finished with this show and spend
there
time in the
is
Coliseum
no.
on the lift, just quoting lines from
Spy-
Spartacus and Gladiator,
Uh,
and then
Uh,
dying. I gotta put some happy in the place. It's evil and messed up. So
True.
you know, if I can give
It
someone.
Let's
laugh,
not forget
my
that
job's
last
done.
week Frysa did announce his contest. He's still waiting to be found, guys. He spent all weekend, last
I am.
weekend in arenas. He spent all week early. I told you guys the secret spot, early morning hours. If you didn't listen to the episode, the first person that is a non-guildy
I found him
go
4 times,
and-
I can't enter.
and screenshot Frysa in an arena gets.
I'm also going to increase that in Ashran as well.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
In Ashran, because I spend, as much as I hate that place, I don't go in there for me. I've never go in there for me. You can ask Lycan and Balasang. I'm always in there with guildies, friends. I'm always, because I'd rather have fun with them, whether it's in Ashran or not. So I am in Ashran for 5 hours at a time, hating my life. But I like it because I get to play with my
And he
friends
does
and
the
I get to
bonus
have fun.
objectives, so
And I get to
Since
try.
you don't threes anymore with
we're
us.
still a little bit.
Yeah. So,
Oh no! Oh
I had
no!
to throw you under the bus.
So I
I
didn't.
know. That's a whole other story, guys.
I did not
That's a whole
have
different
any
rant.
bells
Oh my
bites this
gosh.
week. One reason being that there wasn't a whole lot that wasn't already talked about this week as far as what you guys needed. Also, the side project, which I'm going to do some hype. We're not going to announce what the side project is or what's happening, but I've been dealing with that. So it's pretty exciting. Good things coming for you guys and for us as well. So we're going to continue to hype that up for the next week on the show about the changes, and we're just going to hit you guys with the big stuff. So. This was a really fast show. It felt like we're pretty. Yeah, well.
It's just hit this nose. Like everyone's just spent
'cause
so
you gotta
much
get over the
energy
rant.
just cutting sick
Yeah,
about
the rant.
about the
I'm
Colosseum.
trying to end
On
it
it,
next
yeah.
week.
I just kind of want to light a smoke and roll over and go to sleep right now.
So
Just don't tell Mrs.
I need to shout out a few people this week for. So I need to shout out a few people. And Morbid Lust, you were on Argent Dawn. You sent me a very lovely in-game mail saying that you love the show, that you are a fan of Pwnecast, and he wanted to make sure that I let all of you guys know that he is a huge fan and that we're doing awesome work. So I'm letting you guys know that he's a huge fan. We're doing awesome work. You guys. Not you. You people on the call with me. My buddies.
I'm not gonna apply myself.
Yes,
no.
you guys. He wanted to say that everybody at Pwnecast is doing a fantastic job and he's highly entertained. And we've gotten. A lot of people have been emailing me this week just telling me, hey, you guys are great. A lot of inbox messages saying, hey, you guys are great, and we really, really appreciate it. And if there's anything that you guys need from us, Bells Bites, I do them every week. As you guys have issues, message us on Facebook. Send me an email, bell@pwnecast.net. I will get you taken care of. You need PvP help, message inbox, facebook.com/Pwnecast, attention to Frysa. He will help you with all your PvP needs. Lycan handles all the lore here, so you can message him or you can email him at lycan@pwnecast.net. And he will get you lore stuff. We did have some comments on the video. A lot of people, are wanting to do their own lore on their own tune. I believe there was a few comments the last couple episodes. So if you want Lycan to help you with that, reach out to us on Facebook or email him at lycan@pwnecast.net, and he'll help you develop your story, and we could even do it for you on the show. Spamburger does his meatballs every week. His meatballs is whatever his meatballs are, so if you feel like you want to give him some meatballs, he likes meatballs, go ahead and send a message to you. In a can, not in a can, in a ravioli, which was, he was in a ravioli last week. Message him at facebook.com/Pwnecast. I forgot where we were addressed for a moment there. Huge bloke. We did talk about he's exclusively with Pwnecast, and you can find him skulking about on either his tune page or on Pwnecast. So with that, we're going to go ahead and wrap up tonight's episode. Thank you, guys.
I can't read. It's potty time.
I was trying to wrap it up before you showed that book. Guys, I tried to exit gracefully before you had to see that book, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's bad.
For those of you that
That's
want to
bad.
stick around for the after hours, we are going to be
That's the
giving potty
hype she
training
was
tips and
talking
advice for those that have issues with potty training. For whatever your reasons are. Maybe you're lazy, maybe you rate a diaper. We don't really know. We don't judge. We love everybody, diaper wearers included. So fetishes or not, whatever. The show just took a turn for the worst.
Captain Firehouse makes a return.
Hey, he's a permanent fixture on the podcast page now,
But
too.
thank you guys so much
Yep.
for joining us. We are glad that you spend your hour with us every week. Also, you guys will have noticed that the introduction is completely different. I would love to take credit for that. That is not me. Ace is the creator of the introduction. Ace is a listener. He is a guildie. He is one of Frysa's arena partners.
Yeah.
LT,
son.
He expressed interest in wanting to help me creatively with the editing because some things I'm good at, but some things I'm not good at, and I struggle sometimes. But he really took it to a different level. So if you liked the new intro, make sure you comment and let him know how he did, because, man, I wanted to cry when he sent me that. I'm like, oh, /cry. Oh, it's happening, the tears.
Yeah. I was yelling at him. I was yelling at him. I go, arenas tonight? He goes, no, and that was last night. So I guess I text him tonight. I go, arenas today? I go, are you ever going to play arena again? He's like, oh, I'm sorry. I was too busy making a intro for your show. I'm so sorry. And he's like, I'm tired, we're going to bed. And he went off white. I was like, is he mad at me?
I'm pretty sure there's going to be a wait list for, hey, can I get one of those?
Yes.
Those things are amazing.
Yeah.
They
Really
do. They
did.
look
Stephanie
awesome.
did more than what I could do because I'm ill-equipped. I don't have time for that, really. And I'm not as good with the animation stuff as he is. So thank you so much, Ace, for doing that. It's beautiful. Anything you guys need, facebook.com/Pwnecast. Don't forget, we do have big news coming on next week's episode. And with that, we will bid you a adieu.
I just bought this last week.
Bye.
I also have another
I'm
one.
gonna put you guys. I can't.
I know.
I'm
Lionel
gonna put you
finally
guys out
has
of your
some
misery.
friends.
I have an igloo. That's what I have. I have an igloo. Okay.
Hey, Linus.
Okay.
Hey, Linus.
Okay, bye, guys.
Oh, my God.